You're live.
Welcome to Bob and Tam Show tonight. And coming live on our Sunday lives that we always have on Sundays, minus football season. So we got a break here for the Super Bowl game coming up next weekend. So no live next week. Didn't end up getting to do a live down there at Mecum. Just too much going on. We wanted to get that video out yesterday for Daytona. Kind of wrap the month up here. We got 26 days to the official opening of Daytona Bike Week.
There you go.
And just for all you people that are down in Daytona, we seen Dan Kite was kind of BSing this morning about how it was about 17 degrees in Daytona.
A little chilly down there for
Today,
you guys.
We hit 78 in Arizona. Tomorrow will be about 81. And next day we're going to be about 80. Welcome to the desert. And so, yeah, we've got some great weather. They're predicting by the time Daytona Bike Week comes, just nothing crazy happens. The global warming's going on, so it's getting a lot warmer down there than it should be. But we should be looking at 70s and 80s by the end of February. It's still going to get cool in the evenings. You're probably going to be looking around 50. So just FYI, we always carry a couple different jackets to gear up and cover up and keep.
Just in case.
Never know. Rain gear. Make sure you bring your rain gear. Always rain sometime in Daytona. It's kind of like Laconia. They call it Rainconia. Yeah. So there you go. So we'll be on for a little while tonight. We'll see how long everything goes. And we're going to talk a little bit about Daytona. I got some more concert announcements coming up. So we're going to talk about that. Also, I've got, we're going to do kind of a little bit of a wrap up of Mecum. Talk a little bit about that. But I want to get, we got some more videos we're still going to do. There were some really super cool bikes there that we're going to do special videos on and talk a little bit about those bikes, talk about some of the different things, what we've seen this year. Every year it is totally different. We've actually set up to go to another Mecum auction here in the next few months. We're going to be checking another one of them out. We ended up not buying a bike. There was one that went across, I think the first day or the second day that we could have gotten. It was around $2,500. It was like a 89 Ultra Classic. Looked pretty good. Didn't have a chance to check it out, but I didn't have a bidding card yet because I was thinking, we just didn't know if we wanted to spend that $200. And because right now we only have about $3,000 in our bike build fund. So if anybody ever wants to donate to that, you can jump over there to
So yes, whoever asked, we will be at Arizona Bike Week. And nope, there's no snow here. Sorry, Janice. She said she got like 8 or 10 inches, I think she said.
That could be you.
That's in North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina. I seen that an OP Live last night. They had a lot of snow over there. Coming down like a snowstorm there. So, nope, we don't get any snow here. Not since we've lived. Las Vegas, we've been in Las Vegas probably 20, 25 years ago, and we had some snow flurries. I think it was like North Vegas got a dusting, but within an hour or two, it all melted because the ground never, Jesus, that many people on already?
Yeah.
Well, holy smokes.
26. So it did snow like 3 years ago in Oatman. You don't remember that. All those pictures, we weren't in town.
That's not our town.
10 miles away.
Too.
I know.
Miles away. It might have snowed last weekend.
And then one time we were going to Vegas early one morning, and what was all on top of the mountains.
Never could figure that out if that was clouds or snow. There was no proof of one of them. Suspected it was snow, but it could have been. So who knows? It's like we came through the desert yesterday. What was that funky thing going through the middle of the desert?
That was a cloud, something funky, cloud or smoke, or they were out there riding around in the dust.
As you kept going down the desert there, you kept seeing it all the way along. Probably because the ground was warm and it was cold air coming in, and that's what kind of made that.
Or vice versa. It's been so cold. It might have been the air was cold, or the ground was cold, and the warm air came that day.
It was night.
It was evening. It was dusk. You wouldn't be able to see it if it was night. It's pitch black out there. I don't know where I was. Let's see who this is. Will you be at Arizona Bike Week? Yes, I answered that. And that is...
We don't know what day we're showing up yet. We're going to be staying in the compound there at Scottsdale.
Westworld.
We're going to be there. She's thinking we'll probably maybe be able to get in there on Saturday. That's what we're hoping. Friday or Saturday morning we can get in there. Because we want to kind of go over and do some Cave Creek the first weekend. And then the last weekend we'll hang out mainly. We're We're gonna do some rides and stuff while we're over there this year. We didn't get to do last
Albuquerque.
year.
How
Probably
old are
about
you?
20 years ago, we went out to Scottsdale or out to Arizona for Bike Week, and we went to Tortilla Flats and a whole bunch of great
It was
riding.
2014. You're ahead of my rec.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's been a long time ago. So we're planning on doing a couple rides while we're out there, probably Monday, Tuesday, if we're there that early. Do that during the day. Stay away from the weekends.
Happy February.
We're talking about Daytona. We may do one day, we do a ride. We'll let you people know probably the week before. So you got to keep track of what's going on our Facebook pages and also on our YouTube channel. We'll announce it somewhere along the line if we're
Or
going to
maybe
do a
we'll do a
ride.
short.
If you
Those
want to
pop up real
come with
quick.
us, that's great. If you don't want to come with us, that's great too. So we're going to do it. It'll probably definitely won't be Thursday because Thursday is always a very busy day. Probably more likely.
Probably
starts
because you
on
changed your
Wednesday.
name, Neil. That's why. He said he lost his blue statistics as moderators. There should be some of you on. Is Janice one? Does Janice's have a little?
You're on StreamYard. That's why we don't have any monitors on here because it's StreamYard.
I think they've been on there before. Oh, that's Neil. Where's Janice? You see Janice?
To the top. Right there's Janice.
Or I don't know. We'll see. Janice just said hi to Neil.
About 4. Like she changed her name.
Yeah, if you change your name, it takes that away because it's only assigned to that name. I don't know.
So I'll go back through there. We haven't, knock on wood,
we
we haven't had any real issues with people that we needed to do. So I've always got that option from my end. Posted.
I don't know.
But one, we're broadcasting on StreamYard, so it's not really in. It's being taken to YouTube, both
Usually
YouTube channels.
that little wrench shows up. I can see it. There's Rod King. He changed his name too. Why are y'all changing your names? Because he was a moderator too.
You got that.
It's Rod King at 1813.
You need to resubscribe too. Because if you change your names, you may not. Because a lot of
I
people
should write all these down.
A lot of people are saying they're not getting the notifications like you used to.
Rod
One, you
King,
need to make sure you are
13.
You are a subscriber. You have to subscribe first before you hit the little bell. Let everybody know where you're at.
What?
Proving a few people here to get on our
2,
Sturgis page.
6, or is it 2? I can't see that far.
Let's see.
2868. 2869.
Sometimes you can click on. I don't think. No. Don't do. Thought maybe it would let me. Typically on YouTube, when we're just doing strictly YouTube, I can do it from the screen.
Still got this.
Let me look at my YouTube.
See, they're all like ats now instead of just usually before it just had their names.
No, they're putting the ats on there because that's the way YouTube is doing it. They want by having an at in front of it, it gets noticed. The glasses on.
What's up? That's far away.
I can see better with my glasses. Let me see. Let's see. Doesn't ever put it. All right, so there we go. Got that all going. Don't know if it is with. They've changed a lot of stuff on our StreamYard. StreamYard is who we do our sending this out because we can put it on different channels, things like that. If we just do YouTube, it only goes to YouTube and that's it. I can put it on Facebook. I can link it like that, but we've had more issues with YouTube than we've had with StreamYard when it comes to broadcasting and stuff. Got it clicking again. The new camera. Yeah, I keep seeing something at the bottom of the screen that jumps. They're seeing that on there. On. So we got that going. So Neil, while we're talking about things, we met Rick this weekend from Las Vegas. And I know over the years, he's had somebody that's gone with him like to Arizona Bike Week. I don't know if he's thinking about going to Sturgis this year. I know you're kind of looking for something that maybe you and him can work some kind of deal out with his trailer, maybe pay half of a campground that he's coming to. I don't know if he's planning on coming, but maybe with him, he's kind of tight on money too, watching his budget, watching pennies, that maybe you two guys could talk among each other and maybe you guys could come up with agreement to make it feasible for both of you to come to Sturgis. But
Okay.
I said I was going to look and yeah, see, it's not doing it on the. Oh, there it goes.
All right.
So we're 77 degrees right now. Actually, it's supposed to be 78 here within an hour. So
Why is it?
I couldn't. I don't know. And have to look. I don't know. I'm not really worried about it. Not a concern. So, talk a little bit about. We'll get to Daytona in a minute, but we'll talk a little bit about Mecum. About the most expensive bike was about $300,000. That was a BMW that sold. We sold a modified. They actually made them an airplane / motorcycle. That was kind of the first day, second day they sold that. That sold for $50,000. The guy would have sold it for 25, and he actually wrote it in. Had a license plate on it. I don't know if it was Arizona or Nevada. It plate on it, but when we went out there to talk to somebody else about it, it was gone. So I guess the guy took it back off because he sold it. Kept this plate. So that was pretty exciting. A lot of panheads, not as many Harley Davidsons as we've seen in the past, not as many Indian motorcycles seen in the past. This year, there was a whole lot of dirt bikes. What's your favorite bike you like? Your dirt bike? Bull Taco.
Oh.
He must have had a couple hundred of those.
And Captain white and blue
Harley
upper, and it's
Davidson.
all
Yeah.
silver. And probably was 12.
But they were all different years. They went back to about 1956 or 58 and went up to like 68, the model. And they just ranged all different. The last one, which was actually the biggest oil leaker of all, sold for what did it sell? Almost 30 grand, wasn't it? This one?
Unsold for
Mm.
there was bikes and microphone. Now can you hear me? One was leaking like a sieve and it sold for 21,000. And then, like I said, 10 bikes later, this one came across and sold for like 51, 52,000.
So we filmed a lot of the bikes. We're going to sit down. I'm going to edit some of the stuff and we're going to talk. We're actually going to come on to a video similar to this, but it won't be a live. And we're going to talk about a bike and then we're going to show you the bike. We'll show you what the auction is and talk about what our feeling was when we're there. We sat around and talked to a lot of people, which they weren't on camera. The guy sitting next to us, actually, he's going to be in Arizona Bike Week and also Daytona. He knows a lot about motorcycles. And we were talking about some of the different things. I did see that 2019 Road Glide didn't sell. One that was for $19,000. Then the book as didn't sell. So I don't know if the people backed out at the last minute. So they had this Road Glide. If anybody knows what a salvage title is, salvage title means it's been wrecked so bad that the insurance company said we're just going to total it. Well, the guy sitting next to us, which I've never really, my daughter had a car that was a salvage title. We never had any trouble getting insurance. But one of the people I was talking to, might not have been the guy sitting next to us, might have been somebody I was in the audience talking to, that said that if you get a bike that's got a salvage title, you cannot get full coverage insurance on it because nobody knows exactly how they put it together. And they don't know how bad it was damaged or anything else. It could have been just as bad as somebody stole the ignition out of it, and the insurance didn't want to pay for it, and they just salvaged it. So you don't know. And so this bike, which very pretty bike, it was totally redone, great paint job on everything else, but they announced right away it was a salvage title on a 2019 Road Glide. I thought it was a Street Glide, but it's a Road Glide. And so when I was looking today in there about bikes that didn't sell, it was back in there. So because we kept saying, I was looking at the person next to me and I'm like, you could buy one from the dealership, a 2019 mint like that with a good title for $19,000. That bike was worth about $4 or $5 grand because it had a salvage title.
Well, one bike went, I don't remember what it went for. It was a replica.
Yeah, and it sold for like $225,000, and it was a replica of the bike. So I don't know who was a moron, just like the guy sitting next to us. Why would somebody spend $225,000 on a bike that's a replica? It's not even.
It was some race bike.
Yeah.
Geez, I am way behind, but I don't know how to.
So there you go. So overall, we had a pretty good time. They had an extra day today this year, and it was. I didn't get a total number of the bikes. Somebody was telling me about somebody that worked there at Mecum said about 2,100 they were expecting. They were saying first 2,000. We had about an 1,800 count opening day, but all the way up until Friday afternoon, they were still bikes rolling in. I didn't see any coming in on Saturday. But yes, Saturday, if you were going to sell your bike, you would want to pay the big money to have that thing somewhere between, in Vegas time, about 9 o'clock in the morning till about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I would say 90% of the bikes probably sold on Saturday, sold online. It's like I always want those Harley signs. I don't know if anybody bought one for me. Went for $5 grand, both of them. But I mean, people don't realize that unless you are local, which both of them were sold over the internet. So I'm assuming somebody doesn't live around here. It's going to cost you $5,000 to $10,000, maybe even more than that, to have that trucked out. Now it's in a frame. Somebody's going to have to build the rest of the frame to protect it because it's not going to come in a trailer by itself. It's going to come in with a moving equipment. So people don't realize that you have to do that. Now, see, also on Road Art, you have to pay another 20%. So that's another. If you paid $5,000 for that thing, you're going to be spending that's another almost $1,000, I guess. Calculator's not working good in my. So you'd have to pay that. Plus, you have to pay the shipping.
The sound here's good. I don't know. I just listened to it. Jumpin' Jack said his sound is kind of choppy.
Well, it could have been because she had her microphone a mile away
over there.
Her.
I was trying to see the screen, and I ended up going another way.
So if she's not in front of the microphone, she can't hear her. We are going back to. I'm shooting 1080p today. So we're shooting a little higher quality than I normally do because we usually have pretty good internet here at home. So that could be part of the problem. It's if we're having any trouble. I keep seeing these glitches coming up, and it's coming up on my phone too. So I don't know what that is. I thought it was the camera. We bought a brand new camera, and maybe it wasn't just out here or something.
Did you throw away the old one?
No, it's at home. I got it in there. I got tape around. I don't pick it back up. But we've used this. Where did we used to do the live last time? We did a live somewhere else.
I think it was home here, or it was over. We took it to the shop, didn't we?
So there you go. So that's kind of what the Mecum was. Typically, the first 2 days are usually the better prices, but there was a crap load of dirt bikes, lots of dirt. A lot of them didn't have titles with them. Most of them were off-road use only. There was one guy sitting in front of us that must have bought at least 30 bikes. They were selling for somewhere between $2,000 and about $4,000 all day long. They were selling these dirt bikes. They could be anything from a 58 model all the way up to the 80s and the 90s on them. Some of the Kawasaki's were bringing some crazy money again. Some of them were bringing $20,000, $30,000, which I don't understand why somebody would pay that much for Kawasaki. But I never owned Kawasaki.
That was your first bike.
Oh, yeah. That's why I said there's a lot of times that's what happens is people are reliving their childhood. They got a bike, they want that one back again, and they buy it. Also, there's some people that come to the auction that are just stupidly rich, that have no idea about money. They could care less about it. And we sat there. There was one bike that they got another $40,000 out of these two people that were bidding on
against each other.
And they could have just, and like I say, they paid about $20,000 more than they should have paid for that bike. But
Probably more than that.
But if you've got the money and you really want that, then it doesn't really matter. But I mean, why don't you just come up and say $200,000 and it's yours? Well, you can also buy these bikes, which some of them did sell. Probably a dozen or so were sold before the show ever started. So you can contact them, and if they have a reserve on it, some bikes they call no reserve, which means it could sell for $1 or it could sell for $300,000. Or you could have a reserve on it and say, hey, I want $20,000 out of this. So if you're there that day, they ask you to stand over. If you're looking at the stage, it would be over to our left. If we're looking at the stage, it'd be to the left side of the stage. And they ask them to stand there. So if you're watching it on TV or you watch some of our videos that we did, they look over at those people and say, and then so somewhere along the line, they usually say it's off, because once they wait to the very end, it doesn't work
I
as
should
good.
go get my paper.
If it works better before, like let's say you want 25,000 for the bike and it's up to about 15,000, 16,000, your best to say right now, release it, because people will jump on and go crazy. If they wait till they get to 25, they're at 24,000 and the guy's like, So the guy's trying to get 25. So finally he says, I'll release it at 24. Well, then maybe one more person might bid, or maybe nobody will, because he done lost the excitement of the people bidding. Because it is easy. I paid a little too much for her first Sportster that we bought at the auction, a little more than I really wanted to pay for it. But, you get in there thinking, we'll go 500 more. We'll go 1,000 more. We'll pick it up. And you do, you don't. And so that's part of why an auction sometimes works. Now, the other bad thing is, like, there was a bike she was looking at because somebody's thinking about wanting another dog. And so she said, well, I could get a bike with a sidecar. So there was about a 1981 or 2 street glide sitting in front of us that had a sidecar in it. From a distance, it looked pretty nice. Up close, it was rough. I took the cap off of it, and that's the first thing I do. I kind of smell the gas. Well, it smelled all right, but the gas cap was rust. Looked down in the tank with the light, it was rusty. I don't know if this guy just put some gas in it to make people think that it's okay, but I looked at it and said, no, I'm not even interested in the bike.
Well, I looked, you can get a sidecar for the Sportster that's $2,000.
It still ended up going for $11,000. But I mean,
you remember what Sonny's bike sold for? I want to say it was like 25,000 too. I thought it was a more.
I've got a short on it that I might put up that I did film while it was being sold. But I was kind of holding off because I want to do a video on that too. So I could look at the short, but I mean, somewhere around 24,000 it sold. I wanted to go down there, which I didn't think about it at the time because I was trying to record it for you guys, is I would have liked to gone down there and seen who it was selling. It looked like it was a younger girl. So maybe, I don't know if Sonny had a sibling somewhere along the lines. There's a lot of people have been coming on the channel and on some of my TikTok and stuff said, that's really dangerous for them to buy a bike that's, that Sonny owned, and which I kind of talked about a little bit about the stickers. I'm assuming the stickers that were on there, I kind of seen a little bit was pulled down a little bit, and I kind of moved it a little bit. I could see it was red. So I'm assuming those were Hell's Angels HA stickers that were on the bike.
My mic.
So it is very dangerous if you're not a HA member to ride around on a bike that's got HA stickers on it. Now, to ride his bike without the stickers on it, I don't see there's no problem with that, riding Sonny's bike. Because somebody else said that. His last bike he was riding was actually a Victory. But if you look at his, book called the autobiography, if you go to the back cover, it's that bike that's on the cover. So if you're a big Sonny fan, and, and he's not the only one. There's we knew a guy that was called Tiny that's down in Arkansas. He's wrote a book about the Hells Angels and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of them got out of the clubs, not too much. I think Sonny was pretty much not really that much involved with it anymore. We were supposed to talk to him in 2022, but he died before he got to Sturgis, and we missed out on our interview. We were supposed to talk to him in 2021. Yeah. Guy had it all set up. Another president from HA was going to have him because that's when he was really pushing his book. And he said he'll talk about his book. That's anything. Just to say that I had a HA member on my channel. So I had the Tiny down there in Arkansas talking. I decided I didn't want to put him. I didn't want any backlash to come. And so, but if Sonny would have done it, I wouldn't have mind putting it on. I would have done it. But he ended up dying, so I never got my chance to have my interview.
A lot of things don't work out. But anyway, Skippy's on. Him and his wife have had the flu, so we're sorry to hear that.
A lot of people.
And they said that they're feeling better now, but it's cold there, so they haven't really been out and about much.
77 here.
And he said he liked all those 70 model Hondas that was going on the auction.
And we filmed a lot more of the Hondas this year because when we did that Honda reveal on the new
prototype one,
that we it was a really good video. I got a lot of good views out of it, so I thought, I must have a lot more Honda riders
than we thought
on the channel than I thought. So this year we're probably, when we go to Daytona, Daytona's well known for having. We'll jump over here to Daytona. Daytona's got well known at the speedway that they have a lot of bikes to ride. I'm not sure if Honda's down there. But I know Royal Enfield's there, Yamaha, Kawasaki, of course, Indian and Harley's both there. So I'm looking to do some riding. Harley's reached out to us and they want us to maybe come out and do a ride on some bikes. I might do something with that. I'd like to ride the new CVO. We actually just checked one out at the dealership that maybe I'll put that out tomorrow. It'll be a short video that we did with the dealership. It was actually already sold. They already had done some work on it. They pretty much had all the bikes they've got coming in are already sold. As soon as they know they're coming in, they've got them sold. I thought I was going to get the inside look, but this Haul Bikes now is hauling pretty much all of Harley Davidson bikes. They're bringing them in on their trucks. So they go to the warehouse first before they go. Like, for instance, the one here in Vegas, that's where they supply all of the West Coast with motorcycles out of Haul Bikes warehouse. And so I'm like, man, if I could get in there. And they's like, oh, we can't let you if we take a picture, we're going to get fired. We'll lose the contract. I said, I'll bring the green screen. I'll put it up and I'll make it look like we're on the beach. And I'm talking about the bike. And they still said no. I thought maybe I'd get a chance to be able to look at some of the newer bikes. And I know some of the other dealerships are slowly getting stuff in. I've seen some other people right in the Ozarks. I think he had one the other day he was looking at. And I don't know if Monkey looked at one or not. I seen him, something popped up about him, but I don't know. We're still looking for donations for our bike builds. We only ended up with raffling off the helmet. We did have one lady a while back that gave us $1,000 since we got started. And I really appreciate that. And they didn't want to be notarized or noted or anything brought up for a big thank you or anything. They said they just wanted to do that.
We appreciate it.
And so we thank them for that. And so the rest we came from the helmet. Everything that we did fixing that bike up, we paid for out of this channel here. We didn't take any money out of the bike. But actually, the $200 I paid out of my credit card to sign up so we can go to the next auction that's coming up here in March. We're going to go over there. They're going to have, they said several hundred bikes are going to be there.
Which I was shocked. I thought there would be
a more of a car auction. So we're thinking maybe we might get more lucky there if they're not vintage bikes. Maybe get more lucky to buy something. There's some choppers and stuff that, there were some bikes that were between the $5,000 and $8,000 range that would have been really nice to get. There were some 2004s, 2005s, 2009. They're not sports cars. Some of them were ultra classics. Some were road glides. There were some really nice bikes that we could have picked up if we would have had a little bit more. Just don't.
Well, even there was a few that were like 7,000 or 8,000, but they were newer, like 2014, 2015, and it's like, you better have just a little bit more money. And then that one red one that had kind of the flames on the front of it. Whose bike was that? Was that Steve McQueen's? That didn't go for very high either.
That wasn't it. That wasn't Steve McQueen. That had a reserve on it. Steve McQueen bike was like a little dirt bike there. I never heard him mention it, so we must have not been there when
I was there. I wrote it down.
But it was like a dirt bike. And it was a bike that I think.
Then that red one must have been right before, because I was thinking that was it. And then the next bike, they said it was Steve McQueen's.
I think what that bike was is he owned a production company. And that's who bought the bike, the production company, but he owned. So they tried to, they act like he did ride it, maybe in a movie or something. But
I think he might have rode it around the set, maybe.
I don't know. I took a picture of all the literature on it, so we'll talk about that in a video too. There wasn't a whole lot of really, a lot of times we see more famous bikes that were in TV shows. There was a lot of bikes that.
Oh, there was one from Hog Wild. Yeah, it was a funky color. It was like a teal color, but it said it was in the Hog Wild movie.
Didn't say who wrote it.
No, but if it had been John Travolta, we should have bought it. I like John Travolta.
So we'll talk about Daytona again. We're about 26 days right now to start. We get there on the Tuesday before, and the rally it starts on Friday. So we're there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days early. So we'll be there about 23 days. We'll be showing up there. We're going to be talking to the police chief on Wednesday. Got that all set up. He never called back and canceled, so that should be a good with him. Don't have a whole lot of we talking to the city, and be some other interviews we'll have set up Thursday. So the first and last Sundays, we will be at the Beaver Bar for her breakfast. Probably about 8 to 9 or 8 to 10 will be around there for those first 2 Sundays. So there's a place we'll be. We'll be at Willie's Chopper Time Show. We get there about 10, 11 o'clock, stay till about 1 or 2. So we'll be covering that. Of course, we'll be down at Main Street. We're going to be real close to Main Street on the first weekend. We're going to be staying in a hotel for a couple of nights, and then we're going to be moving over to a subscriber's house that's going to help us out.
Who's on the channel right now.
To save us a little bit of money. So,
and we greatly appreciate that too.
So we're going to do first Friday and Saturday. We'll be down on Main Street as long as we can stay. We'll kind of be down there. I've never really stayed really late on Main Street.
He wants to get on
OP Live. I want them to say, our channel or let me say it. So we'll see what happens. We're going to try to chase down some of the police officers that are on the show and maybe ahead of time and see if we're going to be talking to Ormond Beach. So we'll talk to him and see if any of those guys know any of those guys, or we can kind of maybe find out where they're at during the week and maybe just show up at one of the scenes that they're at. And
we have to get a scanner. Figure out where they are.
If you get somebody that will call us and say where they're at, there's always seem to be really good at getting people to help us out. See how that all works out. So that's kind of on my list. We're thinking about the bike burning. That's the last Friday of Daytona. We haven't been down there in a long time. So we're thinking about maybe going back and doing that. We're working on right now getting into the flat track racing. That's first Friday and Saturday too. We're not doing Sons of Speeds this year. We didn't even ask them. They were kind of weird last year about trying to let us get in there, and we ended up going in there with Northern Tools. So I get to the point where if they don't want us to cover it, I don't care. And if they got enough other YouTubers going there, good for them. Nobody's going to cover it like we do.
Because then if we're there and there's 12 other YouTubers, we get lost in the shuffle, and then we don't get any views for it. So,
that the point is
there, Gerald's got a wrench. I don't know.
So I don't know, but we're definitely not doing that. We'll be doing some of the bike shows that are over at the Broken Spoke. We're looking at maybe going down to the Boardwalk bike show.
XM Bikers got a wrench.
Is that Saturday?
Friday. We miss it every year.
So it's Friday instead of Saturday. So Friday we'll probably be down there for a little while for that. We'll be over to Iron Horse. We're going to talk about some of the concerts and stuff going on. A lot of really good concerts. I think the Iron Horse this year has stepped way up. It was actually shocking, the bands that they brought.
Jackal's going to be there, and then Hope Ford's going to be there.
Voodoo Dolls.
The Voodoo Dolls.
Well, some people like
I know
Jasmine Kane and stuff, and Jasmine Kane's playing several different. So don't think you are going to miss out if you want to see her.
She's going to be all over.
very, very many places she's not playing. But the only thing I haven't seen yet.
There's 2 girls on there that's going to be a couple different places, and I haven't heard of them. One is Rachel Stacy or Stacy Rachel. I don't remember which way it is. And then the other one is Jess Zimmerman Band. And I don't know. I don't know what they play. And then
so over at the Doghouse, Friday night, nothing. They got their main act is Gnarly Quinn. I don't know who that is. They're gonna have a DJ after 9. I guess it's halfway through. On Saturday in the afternoon, 3 to 6, they got Diesel, and then they're gonna have Crash Rocket. Their main at night. Sunday is Jasmine Kane is coming on, and Green Tree Brothers, whoever those people. Monday is Southern Legends, and then for opening up for Stage Brew. Tuesdays, they're well known for what they call Dirty Biker Bingo. Wednesday, they got the Crash Rockets coming back and Old School Bandits is playing. Thursday, they have for an hour, Daytona Beach Pipes and Drums are coming in and playing. And Fat Cactus is there. Friday, 6th, from 4 to 6, Midget Wrestling's coming back.
There you go.
Let's get ready to rumble. We're going to be there for Midget Wrestling. That's always fun. Haven't seen them guys in a while.
What day is that? So I can write it in my phone.
Friday, 4 to 6, March 6th. Oh, Burning Bike, but that's it.
Yeah.
And Diesel's that night. That last Saturday is Sesame Plexer, 3 to 6, and then 7 to 10 is Mojo Gypsy, where that is. So that's kind of lineup. Well, they do have a Sunday, but they only have a 2 to 5 is Armed and Dangerous. That is. Out at Cackleberry. What do they got going on? They got some pole dancing. Looks like a Saturday night at 10 o'clock is, I guess this is just all their events going on. They have twerking contest, wet t-shirt contest on Saturday, Sunday, female body, canvas painting, pole dancing. Tuesday's Daisy Dukes contest. So is Wednesday. Thursday is lap dance competition. All couples are welcome. Pole dancing. Friday's Daisy Dukes wet t-shirt. Last Saturday, bikini contest, wet t-shirt. They're not doing but they got midget wrestling too. Oh, they only do that hour.
Yes, it's only an hour long. We stayed there all day. They did like 1 or 2 bouts, and then they all were packing up. And I'm like, well, where are y'all going? Doghouse. That's our main event tonight. And it's like, oh.
So they got another one here. I think this is with their bands. I don't know if anybody's gonna know any of these bands. Friday is Barfly and Hippopersisema.
Hey, Salty Badger.
There's that Sesame Plexer.
Yeah.
They must be popular somewhere.
Salty Badger said that Detroit Randy's BAM bike show is a really good one to go to.
It is. I can't think of where that's at.
I'm trying to think either. I don't know.
I don't think we went to it. We always put down Barfly is on Sunday. That Hippopersisema, whatever that is, they're playing again. Sheepdogs leaving Inda. Doublehead Tuesdays. Barflies again. Got a lot of the same bands playing over and over. I was just looking to see if there's anything.
They just move around. We play here Monday, Wednesday. We play there Tuesday, Thursday, and then the other band plays the other days. And
if you have an Evo and you want to go see the Evo show, should have thought about that. Maryland has the EV show that's over there at the Turn Restaurant now. It's called.
Used to be First Turn, I believe.
And at the same place it was last year. They usually have some bands and stuff too, but I haven't seen anything announced for. Let's see what else I got. I got Willie's Chopper Time show, of course, is on Thursday, March 5th. Starts at 11, goes to 4. Bikes already start rolling at 9.
Hope Ford's going to be there. And who was the other one?
Let's see. I think I might have.
Way Jennings, their country bands. I think Wade Jennings took David Allen Coe's place because he's always there.
Burning Bike is Friday, March 6th. If you want to see Burning Bike, they also have the Miss Burning Bike contest on that same day. So it's pretty much, you can go out there in the evening and that'll be a whole evening full of stuff if you want to go out to Burning Bike on March 6th. You can go out ahead of time and sign the bike anytime that week. We'll get out there probably Wednesday or Thursday and give you kind of an update on what's going on.
So I guess that bike show is going on in St. Louis this weekend coming up.
Oh,
Salty Badger said he might see XM Biker there.
And sometimes the monkey goes up there, but I've not been watching it. We've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to really see what anybody's doing.
I haven't really been watching TV or YouTube.
Fast Lane's got camping out there too. I don't know if they have any hookups left or not. They said they had RV full 30 and 50 amp hookup. Doesn't say anything about sewer. They full hookup. That means you got everything.
Sewer, yeah.
So
I don't think they do.
What they have out there. If you're still looking for like a full hookup area, that might be someplace you want to check at.
We love you.
That's at the Volusia County Fairgrounds. And they're open. They're there. You can't get in there till Friday, and you got to get out on Sunday, Friday to Sunday. Camping there. Let's see what else we got. Cowboy is playing at the Broken Spoke. He's also over there at the Iron Horse too.
Okay,
He's
yeah, I
doing
think
both
so, yeah.
places. Right now at the Broken Spoke, he's
Feel better,
doing
Skippy.
3 different times.
And
he's
Mrs. Skippy.
there. Let's see. Let's like we're in here. Cycles. You're there the weekend before. On Sunday, they have Midwest Motorcycles has an antique custom bike show. It's their 32nd year of being in business. That's going to be on February 22nd, Sunday from 9 to 6. That's where it's going to. You see a lot of people. Willie from Willie Chopper Time shows there. There's a lot of guys come in there. A lot of people. Heavy Ed's been in Florida for a long time, and he knows a lot of people. He's been on our channel. He's got the motorcycle rentals. He's also got sells bikes, works on bikes, got tow truck. He can come get you at night, break down, whatever. They're open 24 hours a day. If you got a Harley, you can usually get parts the quickest for a Harley. But if you break down with something else, it just depends on how parts are. So that's something I wanted to say. Midwest Cycles.
Now Neil's got his little
bar.
Yeah, his little wrench there.
Sons of Speeds is on Saturday, the 28th. If you're interested in that, it's $25 for general admission. It's $100 for VIP to get in the pit pass.
Hey, Deb.
It starts, gates open at 10:30, races start at 1. So just what else? If I got anything else?
So where's Mama Tried? Because somebody asked us this weekend if we were going to that. Because Salty Badger said he's going to try to squeeze that in and then hit Mama Tried.
So I said I only know when they went to the Full Throttle. Mama Tried.
Yeah, maybe he answered. Milwaukee.
But we're not going to Milwaukee. And so the Belge has their ride on March 3rd for women. You can also, hey, if you're a single guy and you're looking for a date, go join the women on the morning ride, and you'll meet a whole lot of women.
Right.
That's Tuesday, March 3rd at 9 o'clock, and that's over at the Speedway. We'll be there in the morning. We're probably not going to do a ride with them, but we'll be there in the morning to see the girls and stuff. Hairball is playing at the Broken Spoke. They're playing the 2nd and the 3rd. Those 2 nights are at 8 o'clock. If we're going to see them, that's when we're going to see them, because I got to get in there early. March 4th and 7th, the show starts at 9:30.
4th through the 7th.
Yeah. Let's see.
So we do put this on the Bob and Tam's Cars, Trucks, and Tools thing also. So maybe Neil was on that one because he said when he switched over, I guess he got his wrench.
Yes, because you're not on the other one. I don't have you. So where we will be Monday, March 2nd from 8:30 in the morning till 11 a.m. in the morning. We will be over at Teddy Morris's at Saints and Sinners for the breakfast and charity auction for the Flying Pistons benefit breakfast. So we'll be there. They're going to have Ryan Evans from Counting Cars going to be there. And of course, world famous Rusty Wallace. He'll be in there with his son. What's his son's name?
Steven.
That's hard time remembering. That's worth going to. They always have an auction. They have some really cool stuff that people donate. Also, if you're still looking for a place, you're not sure where to stay, we always have Camp Easy Ride. They're going to be over at Cackleberry. You can go to campeasyride.com and get information from them. You can rent a tent. They have blow-up mattresses. It's a pretty cool setup. If you don't mind that, they do have. I probably like their setup more than anything else, especially if you're new to the industry. Like, hey, I've never been to a rally. I don't know what to expect, because I know the first time we drove all the way to our Sturgis, we had no clue what we were getting in. We had been to rallies, we've been to Reno, and we've been to Las Vegas, and we used to come to the Laughlin River Run all the time. Well, those are nothing compared. Sturgis is a whole nother egg basket. And same thing with Daytona. If you've been to a local rally in your neck of the woods, the 2 or 3 day rally, they're a lot different than when you go to these big 10-day rallies.
Hey, Danny.
There's a lot more stuff going on, a lot more to see. It can be very, very overwhelming. Well, the nice thing about Camp Easy Ride is there's so many people. Plus, Marcus and his wife, they've been doing this now for as long as we've been doing that. This is probably their 7th year too, because we met them the first time in Cackleberry. We first started doing this, so it might be their 6th year, because the first year might have been the fall when we've seen them, 2020. But they know a lot of things about the industry and places to go and things to do, rides and all this kind of stuff. But you meet the people there and you become a family. And sometimes with Daytona, that's the only thing I say this about all the Daytona, Myrtle Beach, a lot of those rallies get to where they're what I call clicky. They're what I mean by that is a lot of people come with their friends, and that's it. They aren't interested in talking to anybody else. They're hanging out with their friends, getting drunk, doing whatever they're doing, and they're happy with that, and that's great. But when you go to Sturgis and you go to Leesburg Rally or you
Bikes,
go to
Booze, and
Barbecue, you end up meeting a lot of people that we call like-minded. That people that, hey, the first time you're coming there, if you start talking to them, they're like, yeah, come on, go riding with us. Go here, go there. We'll take you around. We'll show you some of the sights and things like that. You meet good friends. And Myrtle Beach and Laconia and like I say, it's the East Coast rallies that just seem to be that way. And I see that because we can see it just by us walking up to people with the microphone and saying, hey, tell us where you're from. Like when they thought we had a cross or something, we were going to burn it across their chest because they didn't believe in Jesus or something. I don't know what they were afraid of. But when I go to Sturgis, we go to a lot of these other rallies, the people are like, yeah, they don't even notice we have a camera. They just start talking. Oh, yeah, I'm from here. I do this. I do this. Oh, yeah, I've been here a bunch of times. My favorite place is this and this. I ride this and this. And sometimes they'll say it when we're all done. They're like, you film me doing that? I'm like, yeah, we got a YouTube channel. No big deal. And they're like, oh, okay, no problem. But down in Daytona, Myrtle Beach, a lot of the rallies along there, we get more people that are resentful to
resistant.
To want to be able to talk on camera. And it's like, we're not going to take you and make you look stupid or anything like that unless you're doing something stupid. We don't film a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of people out here that are clickbaiters and they're filming stuff and they're making stuff up. And that's why the Daytona one the other day, I did a little more talking. That video was long. But I got in there, which we'll probably do another video with the police, because I'm actually thinking about maybe talking to the chief that maybe during the week we could get with one of the cars and cover a couple things when they cover pulling people over and stuff like that. Because I look at it this way: when we cover these motorcycle rallies that we've been to, I don't see cops hassling people. And you're like, oh, I see it all the time.
Hey, Steven.
You got to back up. Like we talked about it the other day, there was another YouTuber, Facebooker, that was down on Main Street in Daytona, and we were down there at the same time. Guy's riding down a trike. This YouTuber comes running up and saying, look, they're hassling this guy. He's a veteran. He's only got one leg. Cops are assholes. But what he didn't show you, which I've got on film, I have to go back and look for it. A guy came down the street on his trike and had loud pipes on it, revving it all up. Cop stopped him in the road and said, stop that. Don't rev your bike up on Main Street. Oh, come by, made a U-turn. Here comes again. Cop stepped out there again because I'm not going to tell you again. And then he let him go. Turn around, here he comes again. And the cop goes, pull it over. He got exactly up. To me, he should have got a $1,200 fine, and maybe that would teach the dumbass to learn how to listen to when the police tell you to do something. You ought to do what they tell you to do. It's common sense. And if you're riding on the road, sometimes I've seen cops, which like in Sturgis, in Daytona. We were there a couple years ago. How about the crotch rocket?
Oh, yeah. That was killing my ear.
We were sitting at George and Peanuts, which isn't there anymore, sitting on one of their tables outside. And this guy and this kid on this crotch rocket wide open. We're holding our eardrums, everybody, people inside. It was just awful. Here comes this young police officer woman, which is people said there's been a couple YouTubers making fun of her, saying she's hassling people. Tapped him on the shoulder. He jumps. And she goes, would you like a ticket? He goes, oh, no. And she goes, then stop that. And so she crossed her arms and stood behind him until he pulled away.
So the light changed.
Yeah. So, yes, we've seen more people get warnings, or not even a warning, just talked to, not actually given a written warning. Now, there is, and it's common sense. You just got to be paying attention when you're at a motorcycle rally. You got to have proper glasses. If we're riding at night, you got to have clear glasses on. And when we pull up there in Daytona in front of the Iron Horse and waiting for the people to cross the road, and I put my glasses up and I pull away, right there, the cops are right there. The Iron Horse pays for them to be there. They are officers. They are going to write you a ticket, or they're going to warn you, depending on the cop. But you are breaking the law. It is a requirement to have eye covering in
eye protection,
Florida. So you have to have that. one of the things which somebody brought up to me the other day, because I said the wrong thing, but you have to be over 21 years old not to wear a helmet in the state of Florida. But what you need to know is if you got pulled over, you have to prove you have medical insurance in Florida. Now, you may have medical on your car insurance, but you may not. Some people do, some people don't. But if you have, like we do, we have medical insurance for at home here. So if we get hurt or something like that, it's, Florida's not going to pay for it. So if you can't produce that, you could be arrested for that and get a ticket.
Because they don't want to have to pay for you if they have to scrape your brains up off the
right. So
street.
You need to know the laws when you go places, just like people that bring, medicinal marijuana along. Well, it's not an open carry or for marijuana and stuff. You can't, if you don't have a prescription card, you don't have it in the proper bottle with your name on it, you could get in trouble. You can't smoke it in public. You can't, it's not, but if you put it in a baggie, now they may just take it away and make you destroy it, or they could give you a ticket. If you got too much, they consider you distributing it. So just something to know about. I look at a lot of that stuff, just like drinking. The cop's not going to pull you if you pull out of a bar and you're not swerving or anything like that. There's no real reason to. They have to have, most states are that way. Yeah, they have to have a probable cause. There's a lot of probable causes. You may not have mirrors on your bike. You may not be able, maybe your license plate on the back of your bike is turned up like this, like a lot of crotch rockets are. Pull over. They have to be able to see it from so many feet away. They have to be able to see your plate. I'm thinking it's 500 feet, but we'll get all that when we get down to the police. I talk to so many different police departments. It's hard for me to always keep track of everybody's. I mean, we've been to all these rallies and we have never, ever been pulled over during a motorcycle rally. Ever. So we've been going to motorcycle rallies for 5 years, 30 years, long time.
Since 2003.
So long time. So never got pulled over. And actually, I've never been pulled over on a motorcycle at all. I've been riding motorcycles since I was 14 years old. I rode on the street. I got pulled over. Like, oh.
25?
That was a moron. I didn't get a ticket there either. He was Barney. I forgot about Barney. We tried to drive through there last time.
Long story.
We tried to figure out where that exactly was at, but we can't really seem to remember exactly where it was over.
It was right outside of Casper, so probably within 10 miles.
I think we were coming up the other way. You know how you can come up the one way we come straight, and the other way you can come this way when you're coming up? I think we were on this road.
Oh, whatever. We were right outside of Casper because once we got into Casper, he turned off, and then we went straight.
The town we went through was just a little bitty. It just had a gas station and a couple little stores there, and that was it. It wasn't big like Casper. I don't know. That's why I said I don't know where it was at.
Everyone must have insurance. When I went down in 2015, it was a grand total of $357,000. You must have insurance. It only cost me out of pocket $2,500.
Because you didn't have insurance. So that's just some of the things you should think about when people are trying to say that, the cops, and that's the big
Neil
one.
says he's never been stopped either.
That's when I say, all these people always say, especially these YouTubers, a lot of this is clickbait. People are showing this stuff, just like showing somebody that drops their bike. It's embarrassing enough when that happens. We've all dropped our bikes. If you haven't rode it long enough yet to where you slipped in some rocks, or like in our case, my bike so far, knock on wood, my 2014, we have never dropped that bike. But my 2009, we had rode it to Sturgis, the old Buffalo chip, or no, the old full throttle. And we had pulled up into a spot in front of the building. And I put the kickstand down, and the guy goes, I want you to pull up here in front of the building.
You can do the front row.
So when I pulled up, the kickstand went up. I thought it was still on, and there we went. But and it is, you're more embarrassed than anything else. Her first Sportster she dropped. Our dealership that we had at that time, you had to kind of go up a little bit of a hill and park your bike. Well, she had parked her bike. I guess she didn't put her kickstand down, and she started to go. Well, I didn't put my kickstand down. I went to grab her handlebars, and we both went down. Everybody come running out. All of our hog members came out and lifted us up. Which it was more embarrassing than anything else.
Hurt your pride than anything else.
But I would hate to see that on a YouTube channel because some moron wanted to do that to make fun of us. And that's, we don't go that avenue. And that's probably why I don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers like some of these other ones have. because they rely on that. They want to click on that kind of stuff. And we don't want to go down that road. I don't want to film somebody that's drunk and and just different things like that. It just isn't, and we talk about this. I don't know if I ever talked about it on live, but we were in Sturgis last year, the year before. But this older lady, older than us, she was riding this big old Goldwing. She made a U-turn there on Junction. She missed it and hit the curb, fell over and busted her head on the curb. Well, we went to pull over, but everybody else, a bunch of cars, people stopped. So it's like, there's too many people there. Let's just move on. Well, I had my front camera on. I got all that on film, but you'll never see it on our channel because it doesn't need to be shown. People got families, just don't need to go that avenue. When you see stuff like that, it is funny. You might laugh at it or whatever, but when you watch those people's videos that do this kind of stuff, it's like watching the AI stuff. You're encouraging these people to put more of this crap out. And, it's sad that our world has gotten to the point where they have to show all this crazy stuff to entertain people. It's like I say, we watch, in our bedroom, we don't have cable, and we watch a lot of the Pluto station. And it's a lot of the old shows that we watched when we were growing up, or we first got married back in the late 70s, early 80s. And I've been watching The Love Boat and the old Matlock and some of the other old TV shows, Heat of the Night. And
some of the things they say were like, oh, if you would say that nowadays, I can't believe they have it on these other channels because.
But I mean, you looked at it,
people would be in an uproar.
More, it's kind of like watching the Brady Bunch or Gilligan's Island or F Troop or any of those old TV shows that were just, it was just fun. They were funny, they were laughing, and now to watch the shows that we watch today it's just really bad. Things have really gotten to the point where, I don't know. It makes me want to think, especially like AI. I hear her click on something and I tell her, that is an AI. I can hear it from here.
But it's like a dog video. It's not nothing. It's like two dogs talking, telling jokes.
Well,
but it's not like I'm going to watch it and think, oh my gosh, look at these dogs are really talking. No, it's just funny.
There's people that buy this, just like all this
Hogan's
stuff.
Hero.
Yeah.
Jamie O.
We watched that the other day too. Hogan's Heroes. We were watching them.
MASH.
I watch a lot of MASH. I actually went to the site. It burned down again, so we haven't been back there since it burned down.
Hey, Lisa.
But I took the grandkids when they were little. We took the hike into where the MASH camp was at. It's kind of cool. They had it all boarded off and stuff. That didn't have YouTube back then, so we didn't film that. But we are thinking about, I don't know when. We were actually thinking about here in a week or so, doing a ride up the coast. Right now, the hotels are $7,500 a night. But we'd have to go of February. Is that
for what?
To ride up the coast.
Oh yeah.
You could find a trailer. We could haul the bike over there when we went to the doctor. Bike. And
he wanted to buy one the other day, but it was like, you just don't have the money.
And I look at it, and you can pick up a trailer for $1,600 motorcycle one. Well, a lot of these people either have one in the center or they have two on the outside. They don't have the one in the middle. Well, if you're going to haul one motorcycle, I'm not going to put it on the left side of the trailer or the right side of the trailer. I want it in the center of the trailer. If I'm hauling two bikes, I want them on the outsides. Trailer problem. So when I look at these trailers, I don't know why some of these don't have.
There was one like yours, Deb and Mike. It was one like that folds up. It stands up and down straight.
So there's another guy that had one back where our daughter lives down in Kansas that had one that you can put in the back of a truck. One where it's flat and then it lifts the bike up. But you can only put one of that. But I thought it would also be good if we're going to deliver a bike, or like here, we're going to be going a couple different places looking to buy bikes, be easier to pick it up. That was my hope, was if we would have got a bike at the auction, I would have rode it home. We had a plate. I'd have just thrown the plate on it and rode it all back home. Our veteran bike is on its way. We took it to Vegas. If you watched the video the other day.
To James.
We took it there and dropped it off at the warehouse. And on last Sunday, it already headed out. It's on its way. James probably going to have a heart attack, but it's on its way to Ocala, Florida, going to the next central warehouse. Every bike goes to a warehouse and then it gets shipped from the warehouse. So Vegas works on the East Coast or the West Coast of the United States. They cover that. They don't cover anything eastbound. So each warehouse they have Milwaukee, and I wouldn't want it to go to Milwaukee just for the fact because that's where all the Harley bikes are at and they're a mess. So it's going to go to Ocala. If it's still there, which I don't know if it'll be, she's got to mail the title off to you. Hopefully, it's your address.
We got it all.
And everything's right.
I don't know if he's on tonight.
She's going to fill the title out. We're going to put that in a box, take a picture of it, send the keys, because I locked up the you can still turn it. You just can't start
ignition.
Because I didn't want any chance of them wearing a battery down. Got a brand new battery in it. And then so we got a Gremlin bell that thing.
Make My Day jewelry.
He gave to us. I think it's a military one.
It's a patriotic one, but it's a 55 caliber. It's a big one.
Caliber.
Whatever. It's big. I was going to put it in a bubble wrap thing, and I thought that bell's going to be real lumpy. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to get a box because the title you fold up and it's.
Speaking of lumpy, we seen him, man.
Oh, yeah. Lumpy and stuff was there.
We made them. Had a couple people. Scott came in, but we didn't get a chance to meet up with him. He took a picture from behind us, but we were filming and we looked back, couldn't see him. So,
I know. I told him we
were
there
with a bunch of his friends. And so we did see a couple other subscribers that were there, said hi and stuff to us. So didn't as many people as one, but we spent a little more time filming this time than, because really Friday, I think I filmed all day long. I never really walked around at all. Saturday, I walked around the first half of it, and then I filmed the rest of the second half. So I tried to get it some good footage and things like that, and wanted to show what some of the bikes were going for. Cam kind of wrote most of them down, the days that were there, that we were in there, because I had to edit one day in the bar, and you really couldn't hardly hear in there. Usually the bar is a lot louder than that, but this time they had it really low, and that's the only place you can smoke.
And
because this is an arena, a state rodeo is where they do at South Point. That's their big thing, is the big rodeo. So it's a rodeo area, and we're only using half of the rodeo area for the auction. But Tuesday was a little light. As we got closer and closer, we got more people.
Well, Tuesday it was done like 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
it was nice.
Friday was probably the biggest crowd I seen there. But Saturday was kind of confusing because when I went back out to the back part where all the bikes were at, it was packed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was a lot of people walking around looking at bikes, stuff like that. So a lot more of that. I've seen a lot more little kids this time, because if you're under 12, you get in for free. So there was a lot more little kids this year than I've seen in the past. And last year they gave away some free one-day tickets. They didn't do it this year. But if you bought a bid card at any of their auctions this year, it's good for the rest of the year. So we've got a couple other auctions we're going to try to hit in between rallies and see if we can pick up. All bikes only will come there and pick bikes up and drop them off. So if we decide to buy something, if we're farther away, we're not going to be going down to Kissimmee. They do like a day.
It's 14 days, I think. Yeah. It's a long time.
Plus, there's something else going on. I think the SEMA show is going on at the same time. That'd be too much for us to try to do SEMA and that. So we're going to try a couple other little auctions that they have, not as big, more cars. We've got the car channel. I haven't been putting anything on there this last week or so. Been pretty busy with the Mecum. Tomorrow we're going to be doing putting the lights up in the shop. Got the scissor lift finally. Then we'll pick that up tomorrow morning. We'll film some of that, and that'll probably be on the Cars, Trucks, and Pool channel. Kind of show you that. Got that all done. What else we got? I got to do a review.
Somebody asked we were going to the David Mann Chopper.
At this moment we were, and now we're not, and I don't think we are.
Now, was it on Sunday or Saturday? Because if it's on Sunday, that's Super Bowl.
They moved it on the Saturday, because he moved it so it wouldn't be on Super Bowl. So it's probably Saturday. We had talked about it. We thought maybe we'd stay at our daughter in Huntington and we'd just drive up in the morning and come back. We just decided we got to go to doctors on Monday. So we're probably just going to stay home till Monday, leave early Monday morning, drive into California, do our doctors, stay one night, and then come back. I still got a lot of stuff to do. I want to got the golf cart running. Drove it around.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Drive it around the neighborhood. Get it blown out.
He didn't tell me we were doing a live today. So, I haven't washed my hair. He did not.
What's your hair look like?
Well, I washed it.
It looked just like that when you came home.
I hadn't washed it since last Sunday because I didn't want to wash it up in Vegas and during my hair dryer and all that junk. So, anyway. So we get ready to leave and we're going to go eat lunch. We're going to go to Sam's and get a battery and blah, 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 blah. And it's like 2:00. And he's like, well, because the live starts at 5. And I'm like, what?
We need to go home right now.
Because all I did this morning was put on a baseball cap and put my hair in a ponytail.
Nobody will know any different.
So he dropped me off while he took the battery and did all that and got the other truck. And He at least gave me an hour to get ready.
So there you go. So we'll be home for that, and then we want to get back. I need to get the motor home running and get that kind of looked at and figure out what's going on with that. I got a couple review things I need to do. We've got a camera set up, a front and rear camera that somebody sent us, wanted us to check it out. It's actually the people we talked to in SEMA. It's actually from a Chinese or Japanese company, and the guy spoke really hard English. I don't know if I'll end up using any of his video on it, or me talking about the camera and stuff like that. Go to check it out. But it's got a camera in the front. You're gonna have a camera you can put in your back window too, so you get both shots. Instead of versus some cameras will shoot backwards, but it's going to shoot through you and out the window. And if there was a glare on it, you're not going to see anything. So we'll see how this all hooks up. We're going to hook it up and try that out. We got some new internet. We're having some trouble with that, so we're not talking about that yet. We're going to call them tomorrow and try to get that figured out. What's wrong with that? You'll be calling them.
With what? I'm sorry.
Internet. Try to get that figured out. What's wrong with
that thing? Yeah, we ordered this streaming thing too that we paid, and the guy finally wrote me back.
Well, she wrote him an ass because I paid because I said I'll just cancel the credit card. It's like $253 for this.
Because we were already talking to him about how we got screwed down there in Quartzsite a couple years ago with the backup camera. And the guy's like, oh, no, blah, 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 blah. And he texted me and he said, thank you for ordering it. And we got the deposit. And he said he put us in his phone and all this stuff. I said, okay, I'm going to text him and say, we haven't got it yet. Where's it at? And see if he texts me back or bings back as undeliverable. And he wrote me back and he said, oh, I'm so sorry for the delay. He said, they've all been shipped. And I'm like, okay, so when can I expect it? And he said, more than a day and less than a week. And I said, all right, thanks. Because we bought it January 16th. So tomorrow will be 2 weeks.
As long as you get it before 30 days, because like I say, I probably have to look and see. I don't know if I even got a statement. And I said, if nothing else, I'll just cancel the credit card. Not a big deal if you don't get it. We got something else we got that is that we want to show you.
Steven.
That I want to do here soon. I could have done it today. Grab you. I don't know.
I'm not quite sure what he's talking about.
Iron Horse.
No, Neil wrote, I guess he's writing to XM Biker. A buddy in Oregon just bought them and is installing them. See if I can get any info. Maybe I can share them. I don't know. Wrote up here. What did he write? Maybe I missed something. Oh, that's Neil too. I don't know. Something they're talking amongst themselves, I guess. A lot of sitting. My knees and my back are shot. You would think I would be able to sit, but can't do that very long either. A little over an hour, I guess. Hour and 7 minutes. What are you looking for now?
Iron Horse.
What did you want to see?
Talk about the concerts. Talked about a few, but we just go ahead in my phone. All the ones you sent.
I thought you didn't talk about all that.
If I about Jackal, the exact night of that.
Jackal's the last Saturday. And then Colt Ford is like the 8th. Look up your email. Things I sent you. I had a hard time finding. I know it's
I
not.
don't belong to any of these, and I belong to the thing. And they wonder why nobody can find anything.
Yep. I don't know if I sent it from yours or mine. Iron Horse bands. So that Rachel Stacy is going to be there. And then that Jess Zimmerman band. The Buckshot's going to be there. That's going to be Friday, March 6th. I didn't put any times because all these had
weird
Yes.
Most of them headliners are probably going to be on at 9 o'clock.
In evening, yes. LACs. Now those, I think those were the guys that played at Willie's. They were pretty good. I don't know what LAC stands for. They told me, but I forgot. That's going to be Sunday, March 1st. Then Jackal's going to be Saturday, March 7th at 9 o'clock. Saints and Sinners is going to have a whole bunch of bands. They're going to Big Engine. Big Engine is nowhere else, are they? Big Engine's going to be the 1st. David Kimes is going to be on the 4th. Gage Boland's going to be on the 5th. Friends of Rock is going to be on the 6th. The Vol County Line's going to be on the 7th. Hayfire on the 7th, and Insomnia on the 8th. The 11th, that's afterwards. Oh no, yeah, that's after. So this is like their whole month schedule. So that's Bike Week right there, right?
Yep.
No, that's February.
February.
It's March. Well, it goes up to the 22nd. Here it is here, I guess. So the 25th is Gunshy, Blake Free Band, and Big Engine. The 26th is Big Engine, Our Friends Electric, and DCL. 27th is A Festives, Old School Bandits, and Jay Redding. 28th is Driven, Burnside, and Friends of Rock. The 1st is Crash Rocket, Big Engine, and Adam Sean, probably, Sean. The 2nd is Friends of Rock, Crash Party, and Heg, Heg. Doug. Voodoo Dolls there too. The 3rd is Voodoo Dolls, Gunshy, Armed and Dangerous. 4th is Blake Free, Versatile, and Friends of Rock. The 5th is A Estevez, Old School Bandits, and Madam, Madam. The 6th is Barfly, Our Friends Electric, and Burnside. The 7th is DCL live from Nashville and Band Showcase. And the 8th is Big Engine and Our Friends Electric. So that's at Saints and Sinners. Like I said, Jackal. I already said Jackal was. So is that the only one you didn't really talk about?
Jasmine Kane is also playing at Dirty Harry's. So she's got a full schedule. You can find Jasmine Kane every night somewhere in Daytona. So Friday, she's going to be at Dirty Harry's downtown, Main Street. Saturday, she's going to be at Dirty Harry's. Sunday, she's at the Doghouse. Tuesday and Wednesday, she's at the Iron Horse Saloon. And the last 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, she's at Dirty Harry's again. She's making some money. So if you're a Jasmine Kane fan, you can get enough of Jasmine Kane, it will just drive you crazy.
And they wrote, Heads Up, Bob and Tam, one channel on TV talking about things way before. I guess that's on my phone. It's confusing. I guess the volume needs to be turned off.
Yeah, it could be. So if you're watching on your phone and your TV, it's two different, it's synced different, depending on how you do it. So Dirty Harry, here's a Dirty Harry schedule too, I guess. They're doing wet t-shirt contest again. So on days, it's 4 to 4:30 and then 7:30 to 8 o'clock. They're banned on the 1st. They got nothing for Friday. The 1st is Our Friends Electric. That is. Monday is Fat Cactus. They are having the Voodoo Vibe. Where that is. That Plexer or Sesame Plexer is playing there too. They're doing early shows. In fact, Cactus and Diesel is there. Geez, they can play till 2:30 in the morning. On Tuesday, they're playing from 11:30 p.m. 2:30 a.m. for Diesel. The 4th, they have Planet Hairspray and Diesel at the end of the night. Oh, they're having a Jimi Hendrix experience on Wednesday from 1 to 4. If you're a Jimi Hendrix fan. Thursday, they got Big Engine in the afternoon, 1 to 4. This is Dirty Harry's. Then they're having Our Friends Electric is in the afternoon. Then Jasmine Kane that night, and then that Crash Rocket is 11:30 to 2:38. That's partying if you're staying down there that long. Jasmine Cane's again on Friday afternoon. They got Mojo Gypsy and Crash Rocket again at night at the Late Late Show. Saturday
2 a.m. show.
11:30 to 2. Jasmine Cane's playing Saturday night in Diesel. And on Sunday, I can't really see that. Fat Cactus is the last band in the afternoon. Some Dirty Harry stuff.
He says on his phone, he gets commercials, and on TV, he doesn't.
Oh, are you paying for it?
You get YouTube TV.
Okay. Anything else? Show anything for the lot or the bank?
I know. I looked all those up the other day, and Dirty Harry's didn't even have anything up yet. So they must have just put that up.
So there you go. People always say, well, where's the headliners are at? There is no headliners anymore unless you're going to go to Sturgis. And other than
Hope Florida's.
I don't know if I would call him a headliner. I don't know if he's put anything else out. I don't know the last time he put a record out of. But I mean, for a free show, that's not bad. He almost died. He had a heart attack. So
years ago.
Yeah. So he's back and outgoing. So we've seen Colt Ford once a long time ago. I think at the the Buffalo Chip at him. But typically, most places that are going to have headliners, we call headliners, they're going to cost you to get in. So here, like I say, they've got some pretty good bands this year, especially the Iron Horse has done really bringing out some of those.
That Cowboy's really good too. Yeah. The one he does Kid Rock. Yeah. So
we've heard him a couple times, and he does good shows. Looks like him too, a little bit like him. So they're looking for music. There you go. There'll be a lot of bike shows. We don't have all the scoop yet on all of them. Usually there's some bike shows out there at the Speedway. Teddy Morris's will have some bike shows way in the back. The Iron Horse, of course, they'll have one every day, but Thursday. They have the Boardwalk on Friday. They've got that Evo show that's over there at the Turn. They'll have that.
Cabbage Patch has a couple shows. Don't forget about the Slaw Wrestling. Yep. I think that's on Wednesdays and Saturdays. There's a bug in here.
Cool it off in here. 77 degrees. Did I say how warm it was here? Yeah, tomorrow.
Here in Southern Illinois, I can relate. Yep. I know Bob's sister called and said that they got over almost a foot of snow, at least a foot of snow, I guess is what they said. So, yeah. I like to see it far away on the mountains. I don't mind being in it a little bit, but I don't want to be in it all the time. I don't like the cold. It makes me hurt. He says he's in Illinois too. Is that like Murder Beach? What did they used to call it? Elsinore? That's in California.
But Illinois, we used to call it a little sister to California stepchild. We live there. Glad we're not there anymore. Not living in California anymore. Great to visit. Live there. Illinois. Not a big fan of even going back to Illinois. Illinois don't have a whole lot of big flat state. We did a lot of driving from Chicago to Southern Illinois, and that's the longest, boringest drive in the world.
It's pretty flat. A bunch of cornfields or soybean fields, one of the two.
And what season it is. But yeah, we don't really so we'll see how it goes. Daytona should be pretty good. We're hoping for the best there. Everything exciting. Ready for that. We come back home to Arizona Bike Week. Be there. Not sure what day we're going to arrive yet. We're hoping to get in by Saturday before and be there for the whole week. Could be. We may not get there till Wednesday, depending on we're trying to get in the campground and trying to figure out what day come in. So we'll find out that as we get. Then we get back home. Then we get ready for Leesburg Bike Fest.
Hey, Indra.
Leesburg, Panama City, and Myrtle Beach. All three of those will come bang, bang, bang. We'll be there and close out for you. And then we come back home and get ready for Sturgis already. June 4th through the 6th. We'll be in Sturgis the whole time this time. We're not going to be staying in Rapid City first. Ended up spending more time driving back and forth last time.
We might have to make a couple trips to Mitchell.
And so we'll see what all happens with all of that stuff. So Sturgis is still a little bit away there. If anybody's heard, the Knuckle is doing a total remodel inside. We're going to try to get Curtis on here in the next week or couple weeks and see if we can get him to come on and tell us a little bit about what he's got planned there for the Knuckle. But he's really going to fix it up and class it up really cool and stuff. So it's completely shut down right now. They're not open at all.
We lived in LaSalle, Peru, but we used to go to Star Doctor a lot. I guess that Guns lives in Ottawa. I think we've met him before. I remember talking about that. Hindra. So Neil, you asked about Rowan earlier. The last live we had, whenever that was, Rowan was on. He came on for a few minutes. He said he's been healing. I don't know if his back was out. I don't remember for sure, but he's still alive.
Still alive and kicking.
Yep.
So we're back to trying to get a video out every day. So last week we did every day. I should have something tomorrow. We'll see what. And I don't know.
One of those bikes or something?
Something I said would be probably a real short video. I do have a little bit that I filmed of Sonny Barger's bike being auctioned off, but I was trying to hold the camera and this at the same time, so it's not nobody's grabbed yet about it, but I figure somebody eventually will. But trying to do two at once because a good video, of course, is always going to be on the camera, so we're watching that more than I am in my phone. So it's just hard to. I need to almost get one that I can mount it to camera to.
Yeah.
Thing
like Michael does.
Yeah, have it together so it moves with it. But so we got a bunch of cool stuff to still give you guys. We're going to great information about the rallies. Spread the word. Let everybody know what we do. We're getting ready for the rally season to kick off. We're hopefully we'll have a good successful rally season this year. For a lot of cool and exciting things to be happening. Try to bring you some new stuff this year coming up. We're going to go back to pretty much like old school, like we did when we first kind of started here. Give you a great information to give you, if you're coming to the rally, you'll have a good idea of what's going on. Not so much. I don't think we're going to. I don't know. I keep going back and forth saying I was going to cover more nightlife stuff, but I don't know. We may just stick with what we did. Show you some of the cool stuff going on.
Thanks.
There's enough guys out here that are chasing the girls and everything else that's out here. We always get a few of the girls telling you where they're at, but we're not the channel to chase around to find where all the girls are hiding at.
They said they like your backdrop.
And trying to make it look more professional. Looks more like that's what somebody else said the other day about a podcast. A podcast is more like a newscast because you get a couple of people to just talk among themselves. I think that's kind of weird. I guess I never really watched podcasts and where people are doing that.
It's pretty much like what we're doing right now.
Well, no, most of the podcast is like, well, what did you think about Mecum? Oh, that was really funny when that happened. So it's more of you're sitting back watching those people have a conversation among themselves. We're sitting here giving them information. And then they're writing, if they have a question or there's something they want to say, they're writing, we're responding to them. I think most podcasts don't really, I guess Two-Lane Change, sometimes they have that guy sit back there and he reads. We don't watch a lot of people's lives. I always fall into the problem that they get too boring. And so
we have been to the dungeon in Sturgis.
Yeah. We actually know the lady that runs it.
Neil says you need to tape the dungeon in Sturgis.
We've done that. I think we were down there last year. Been out back. Can't show you the girly show out back. Last year they even had the girly show. They had pole dancing and stuff on that other side over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil, you missed it. Probably.
Oh, you were gone.
Well,
sorry, Neil.
He might have been. We did it before because they were fixing it all up.
Yeah.
So it might have been when he was.
Well, the guy that actually dug out the dungeon was actually on our channel last year, Tim. He usually doesn't come on, but he usually has his daughter do it or something. But
he actually owns that. Yeah, I think he owns
most of Deadwood.
Yeah, he actually owns. I think he owns that park where they set all the stuff up and have the concerts and all that. I think that's his.
Oh, is it?
I think it is. He owns the lumberyard. He owns half the town of Deadwood. You would never know by looking at the guy.
The electric
jeans,
company.
Yeah, blue jeans, t-shirt. You would never think he kind of. She always thinks it looks kind of like my brother.
and talks and acts just like him, because we sat and talked to him for like a couple hours one night. He invited us down there and that Outlaw Square. I think that's what you're talking about.
And he owns the casino and all that right next door to that.
Where the Hard Rock is?
Yeah, where the patio and all that's at. That's his property. And one of his properties.
Because I think he like books all the bands and stuff too. So that's probably is his over there. But anyway, we sat there for a long time and talked to him and had a few drinks and stuff. And then when we left, we looked at each other and I said, I don't know if I asked him or he asked me, who did he remind you of? And I'm like, your brother. And he's like, he did. He looked, acted, his mannerisms, the way he talked. I'm like, yes, he could have been your brother's twin. Karen's on. Hey, Karen, we'll see you soon.
I called her to get down there today in Florida.
Well, even Sue, when I called her today, my friend, she said she was cold and she lives down in Northport by Port Charlotte. So yeah, Florida's cold.
77 here. Well, they're going to warm up. It looks like by the end of the week, they'll be back in the 70s.
They're all saying hi to Karen. You guys buy any bikes at the Mecum auction?
Nope. No. Most of them, by the time we got the bid, there was really only one that I could have bought. We don't have enough. We only have $3,000 in the vet.
I'm going to have to do some research on how to fundraise for a nonprofit.
And so we got to raise some more money or something like that. So what we decided to do when we first got there, we got there on Sunday. So Monday we went back down to Red Rock Harley Davidson and talked to him and said, maybe, because the idea was, do we really want to spend $200 of the veterans' money to buy a pass? And if we don't buy anything, we've lost that money. But then we only have $2,800. So we thought, well, let's go talk to him. Maybe they've got something they would wholesale to. And we told him, we said, we got $3,000 that we could buy a bike with if you got something you want to work with us on. So he said, let me look at it and see what I can do. Well, he ended up having a couple people on vacation. He had a couple people went out on flu, and it was just crazy all week. So we ended up buying a pass on Saturday. But by then the prices were so high, and then I ended up putting on my own personal credit card. So it's something where we're in it for. And so,
but when I saw it, I was reading it and I said, do you know that pass is good all year round? And I said, if nothing else, we could get online and bid at some of the other auctions that are further away. And he's like, I'm not buying a bike I don't see. And I thought, well, because Rod King lives down there in Florida. So if they had something it could send me, there's one up in Harrisburg. So I don't know how far away George is from that, or if he'd want to go to that for us and kind of just have somebody look at the bike to see if it's worth bidding anything on.
You never know, because it's like here, I looked at like 5 or 6 different bikes up until that point. Well, on Saturday, and they all went to way too much money. They had some kind of history or something on them. But it ran up. If we would have had about $9,000, between $5,000 and $9,000, there was a lot of good bikes. They sold a bike on Saturday for $5,000. It was a late model. It was 2000 something Road Glide or Street Glide, and a couple bought it, and which we did. And we don't have $5,000 to buy one. So we're at the point where
we're limited.
We only have a little bit of money to buy something. So, and try to find something that's decent enough for you.
For a bet.
The other thing would be to maybe buy something. There was a crap load of these dirt bikes. That would have been a gamble to buy something like that, a dirt bike, and then raffle that off and hope that we would raise enough money that would bring something back into it.
But see, with the helmet, we didn't make as much as I would like to have made. And then we raffled off, but that was only a very short period of time, like 2 weeks, the Camp Easy Ride. So there was only
a couple $100.
And so I don't know. We're just not reaching the right audience.
Well, the problem is that we don't have enough of an audience. It's like the Badgers. The Badgers raffled off a bike and they raised $10,000, $20,000 for their organization. And but they got their Facebook, and they got a lot more people looking at it and things like that, and they did really, really well.
I think they had like 500 people that bought raffle tickets.
If we had a channel. Because we didn't really say anything to the monkey, because when he first got that one bike, he was thinking, didn't know what he was going to do with it. And I was going to say, well, if you want to do something, you could keep it and we could raffle it off, or we could give it away to a veteran. He was thinking about just giving that bike away. But then now, by the time he did that, by the time I thought about calling the monkey and talking to him about it, he ended up saying he was going to fix it up, and I don't know what he was going to do with it. But he made the other plans. So it was like, that's fine. I'm not even going to mention it. But because we tell people all the time, if you got a bike you want to get rid of, if it's a Harley, or if you got a bike that's a good running bike, we had a couple options that we may be able to get a foreign bike. from the AIM show that one of them was electric bike and a couple other things that maybe we could raffle those off to raise money to buy something. So we'll see what happens. So we're still chugging along. We weren't, we can get another bike this year. It'd be great to at least give a bike away every year. Maybe we'll get some more stuff people want to raffle off or something like that. I don't. We'll see how that all goes, and we get a bike.
Well, it's not your fault, Chip. Chip says he's sorry. He told a bunch of people about the helmet. Well, I even sent it, like a lot of the different Harley dealerships that we're close with. I sent it to their PR people, and some of them I even sent to the GMs and said, could you share this with your hog group? Because I know a lot of hog members and a lot of you guys are all veterans too, and share this with them. And if they would like to buy a chance to win this really cool helmet. And I made up these little flyers and I sent it to probably 8 different Harley dealerships that we're pretty close with, that I knew that they would actually do it. And they all said they did. They shared it with their hard group. And
I think the problem we have is the people that she's sending stuff to, they have no idea who we are.
I don't know. Some
So
of them
when you punch up the bike build, yeah, it's been here for a year. Well, we've never given nothing away. So they're like, who are these people? They just taking the money and running with it. The bad news is, I say this all the time, you should check every time you donate money. I don't care if you're giving it to Wounded Warriors, if you're giving it to Cure for the Cancer, whatever you're doing, you should Google it and find out what the percentage of that money is actually going to the people you're planning on giving it to. Because you might be very shocked when you find out, because they can. But we're not taking 1 penny out of this for anything. Business cards, the phone, everything's being paid out of our YouTube channel. So we have 0 expenses for our veteran build. All the parts that we put on the bike, I paid for.
came out of the YouTube channel.
Well, some of it came out of our credit cards. And Art bought the tires for it. And we had Amazon Oil gave us the oil for it. But everything else we paid for. I paid to put the gas in the bike, get it there. So we didn't take any money out. But when you Google some of these people, you might want to say, what's the percentage of money? Because they can. I'm not picking on anybody. But you can go into Wounded Warriors. The CEO gets a paycheck every month. The people that work there get a paycheck every month. There's nothing wrong with that. But if I'm thinking about every dollar I give them, what's the percentage that actually goes to the veterans to help them? Now, you can have a business that doesn't have a lot of overhead. You get more people that are volunteering to work. And so that's where we're at. My whole idea. And then there's also people out here that are raising money for veterans that do not have a 501. By having a 501, everything has to be put out publicly. Like the Badgers that have their channel that they talk about, they give money out. If you have a wreck, they'll give you a couple $100 and refer you to lawyers and all that stuff. They are a 501 charity. So you can actually Google them and you can find out what they're paying out of that money. Are they paying, and what percentage actually, if they sold that bike for $10,000, is $10,000 going back to the people that have a wreck? Or are they taking $5,000 out for their expenses and then $5,000 is going to, I don't know. I never Googled them. I Googled them to make sure they were a 501. They are. But I didn't go in to do research. But I do that. What started this was that stupid commercials at night that show you these starving dogs and all this.
8-pack or whatever.
Which I always look at, the hell is filming these things? They're filming these dogs and you're paying money to have a commercial made. And
then they're going to give you a free t-shirt and a free blanket and a free keychain and a free, keep all of that. I mean, because the money you're donating is going to some of that advertising.
And so I Googled it and it was like 80% of the money is going to expenses. Then I talked to somebody and I did some checking and found out none of the local humane societies get any of that money. So I don't know where they're rescuing these animals from. I don't know. I don't know where they're going. I don't know anything about it. But if only 20% of the $19.99 you're sending them a month or $15, whatever the hell they're sending them.
Everybody's $19 a month.
Only $1 is going to the dogs. Then go send your $19 to the Humane Society in your town and help them.
Or go buy some food and take it to your local shelter.
And so I'm not saying people shouldn't give, but make sure when you do give your money to a charity, that money is going to what you believe you're giving money to. That's all I say, because there's so much of this stuff. It's just a business. It's just a business that they're running. And all you can be a 501 as long as you're not. The 501 really basically says is at the end of the year, if there was $5,000 left over, I couldn't stick that in my pocket.
We'd have to roll over for the next year.
Girl salary, I could pay for the building. I could do a lot of stuff with it, expenses and stuff, but you wouldn't pay any tax on the income. So it's like us when we bought that bike, the first bike we got, we paid no sales tax on that. It was given to us when we went down and got the license plates, had the title transferred and all that. We got a discount on that. Our license plates and title and everything was like $14 for a nonprofit. So we got a really good deal on it. And I insured it. I paid for that. It was $268 for a year. I got my farmer's insurance, which was impressive. But I paid for a whole year's worth of insurance because I didn't want something, if the shop burnt down or somebody stole it, I'd hate for that to lose. It's not that, the bike on a good day, it might bring $4,000, but it's about a $2,500 bike, to be honest. There were some people that were actually going after this bike, which kind of scared me, that some of these people were maybe thinking about getting this bike and just selling it. Oh, look, we were just at the auction, and somebody won a bike that was from the NHL, National Hockey League team or something, gave it away and signed it all off. And these people just never wrote it, and they brought it to the auction and get rid of it. And nothing wrong with that. Maybe they paid for it.
Well, they did a raffle, won the raffle, and now they're selling the bike. But it didn't go for as much as I thought it would, because it had a bunch of hockey players signed it.
I mean, the hockey team, I had no idea.
That's what somebody said. I want to know whose name's on there, who signed it. And it's like, I don't know. I didn't know. So Chip said maybe if we ran a small ad in the AMA magazine or a similar group, would that help? Yeah, that would cost money, but I don't know. Because I get all those different kinds of magazines from different organizations and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. I don't really look at them. So, and then if I do look and there are a whole bunch of ads, I just skip right over the ads. I don't know what they are. So I don't know. I think advertising back in the day isn't like what it is today. I mean, they still make all those magazines, and like when you go to Daytona, you get the little pocket guide and you think, oh, this is going to tell me where everything's at. And you flip, and like the first 20 pages is just ads for local businesses. And then you might see something, and then there's something in there for the Iron Horse, but it doesn't tell you any of the bands or when their bike shows are. Or it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I think more of that kind of stuff just gets thrown in the trash, and I wouldn't want to waste the money.
Everything now is internet, and that's what we tell everybody.
Social media.
Yes. That if it's not on social media, I couldn't tell you the last time I read a newspaper. Last time I really thumbed through a magazine. We get the Harley ones that come from us.
No, he gets those concealed carry ones, and he gets, what's that other one you get every month?
Concealed carry shit.
I've had stacks of them. I said, go through these and pick which one you want, because otherwise they're going to.
And so we got the Elks today, King Day, and got your stupid retirement one you bought.
AMAC. I belong to AMAC, not ARRP, whatever that is.
Spend the wrong money in the wrong place. You always should do your homework.
Would never join the ARRP.
Well, it depends on who you are.
Yeah.
Might be somebody that likes the money they spend and where they spend it.
Not homeless motorcycle.
So that's just where we're at. We're not complaining. I didn't really want to get into a complaining issue like this. We started the nonprofit because our idea was another YouTuber that we know that kind of got us started. He raised money. He never got to go in the service and thought it'd be a good way to give money back. We're a little too old. Well, she can't ride across the country anymore, but we couldn't do rides and try to raise money along the way. We just couldn't do that. But we've done a few little things and stuff. We raised a little money the one time for a ride. We had a veteran ride in Sturgis a couple years ago and raised $400 and took it to the Vets Club and gave it. And so we've done a few little things like that, but we thought, let's try to see if we get a nonprofit going and see if that would work. And we had no idea. What my hope was to maybe give 2 or 3 bikes a year away. Well, we gave one away in a year. And
so first year.
Yeah. And so it is what it is. And maybe now, once we get the video from James, wife's supposed to film him getting that. We got the helmet. We're going to be taking that to Sturgis. He wants us to deliver it to him in Sturgis, save the money of shipping it to him. So we'll give it to him and we'll take some pictures and he'll do a video of that. So we'll have something that we can put on the website to show, look, here's real American soldiers that won something. And so that's kind of cool that, because it is, people say, well, I sent you money. What are you doing with it? So there you go. I just somebody, well, I think we got $300 this month again. But I think that some of those were the ones that got in at the last minute. My buddy Art sent $100 to get in. So we've got, I think when we looked the other day, we had like 32,
a little over 3,000
in a checking account. And that's all we have. That's all the money that you guys have raised to us. Well, she put $25. That wanted to see how it worked.
Well, I wanted to see, because I wasn't sure that Jiffy thing when we got it and stuff. And because I was thinking with all these people sending stuff, I said, I got to know who sent it so I can send them a receipt. So when I sent $25 to the bike build thing, it came back as they gave me a receipt and who it was for and our organization and all that stuff. So you can take that off your taxes. So that's why I did
If you
it.
send it to us before March, you can take it off.
Yep.
Or March 1st, I think you can still take off stuff for last year. Taxes. Need a tax break off. The Bob and Tams. Bike builds for vets. You can send it to us too, but we don't give you a tax break for profit.
There it is.
Go to that and check out the website. I need to update it because now we've gotten rid of all the stuff that we collected money for.
Yeah.
They had just a helmet on there.
Because we got some money the other day. Oh. And I was like, are they trying to think? Because we just gave away the helmet and we just gave away the
bike was no money for them.
No.
So we'll find out what happens. There's a chance we can get a bike from Canada, electric. Looks kind of like a dirt bike, but it was electric. And they told us we'd have to pay the fees to get into America, which was like $400 for it. And thought, at first she said no. And then I said, well, maybe we'll get it. We can raffle it off. If it's worth, I've been thinking about that too. The Professional Monkey Guide, I've turned a lot of these down. There's a bunch of electric bikes and stuff that they want us to test out and all that kind of stuff. And maybe we would give those away. We could do a raffle for those. But I mean, I don't know. Would you spend money? Would you do a $25 for a chance to get a $1,500 electric bike? Would anybody even be interested in anything like that? I don't know. Not the Camp Easy ride would go better, but I mean, we didn't have a lot of time to give that away. Because we wanted to make sure that was given out.
In case somebody wanted to go to Daytona. And we wanted to have enough time for them to decide if they could go and then use it.
George probably paid more for it than we collected money on. Because he bought it. He got it from the Bike Builders Pistons Breakfast in Sturgis this year. He bought it from that thinking they were going to go to Daytona. Well, some things happened. He also told us when he bought it, he was thinking about maybe giving it to us anyway that we could raffle it off for bets. And then
I don't think his wife wanted to sleep in a tent, which I don't blame her.
So then he called us and said, hey, I want to give you that. Just check with Marcus and see if he's okay with it. And we talked to Marcus. He said, hey, great. I don't care. It's already given away. You guys can make a little money for your veterans. I'm okay with that too.
Because Marcus is good too. He takes all of his tents that he needs to replenish, like
every 2 years, he rotates, buys all new tents, all new bedding.
And he gives his old tents to homeless veterans. So at least they have covering over them.
Yeah. He does that every year. So we try to bring that up. We should, I don't know when he does it. We should try to see if we can film that. Because he's one of our sponsors, have been with us he was our very first sponsor we ever had. That's why when you look at the video, you see his logo up there. We don't say it enough, but he's actually sends me a check. Every 2 months, I send him a bill and he writes me a check for supporting our channel. And he's the first one that made us start thinking about it because for a long time, I didn't want any sponsors.
Because he kept saying, I want to work with you guys. I want to work with you guys.
He says, you guys give me so much work, give so much business. He says, I'd like to give something back to you guys. Would you guys like to do something? And I'm like, I don't know. He says, well, what would it be worth if we did something? So we decided we'd write something up. And I think the first year he just paid us to advertise. And then he came back last year.
I guess we got a bunch of scammers on. They keep doing this. They want you to go on their channel.
All right.
Here, Neil, and all you guys has got your little thing. You got to go down. I took it off. Go way down. See the little thing there? Go down. Keep going. Keep going. Right there is where it starts. Take them all off.
Good.
I guess.
So, yeah, you're gone. again, I'll take you off again. So yeah, never ever, if there, anytime you see in our feeds or anything like that, that we're asking for money or join our club or anything like that, don't do it. We've got a lot of YouTubers that we know, friends with for years, that one lost their channel, they got it back, but somebody was putting stuff on their channel asking for a church person that one of the ministers that we know. People were just asking for like $1, and he found out after it was over, we're not asking for any money. So now you can join different things. We have, like, if you look down here on YouTube, it says you can join our channel and you can pay. We're going to start that out first on be a member of the Bob and Tam show. She's going to start Tam's time, and she's just going to get and talk about stuff, nothing particular. And she's going to do some videos. Maybe she'll talk about your makeup, or she was thinking about, maybe she's got fibromyalgia. We don't talk a lot about that, but she may be, and it's a lot of people get it, and it's more
people have it more than you think.
It's more of a women's thing, but men do. There's a small percentage of men that get this also. So it'd be I told her years ago she should have wrote a book, because she's had this
since 93.
Long freaking time that we've lived with.
Well, because I knew the first symptom I had was in 93. I couldn't get out of bed. He had to pick me up, put me in the car, and took me to the ER. And then everything. It wasn't until 2000.
What did they tell you originally? Me. Well, actually, what they did was we took her to the hospital, checked her all out. They told us to go to this specialist. So I went to the specialist, dropped her. I wait for her. He calls me in there in another room and says, "Nuts. I'm going to put her on all these drugs."
Like, I know that.
Put her on all these drugs. Well, she started taking those drugs that were going to kill people. I said, "No." She says she hurts. She hurts. She's not making this up.
I'm not a complainer.
And so I said, it's if there's something wrong with her, we need to know. So we're not going to get into it tonight. It's a long story. So maybe she'll do that and try that out and talk to you, because the people always say she doesn't talk enough on the channel. Her problem is she can't think ahead. So if she wants to, she's done a video a long time ago. We were in Panama. No, not Panama. Yeah, it was Panama City, when we were out there at that campground. She did the whole video. I never was even in the video. I flew the drone over this campground. Not very many people even, but she did it from start to finish. But she practiced for 3 days for what she was going to say. She walked around the campground with her notes and remembered what she said. And so if I would just say right now, tell me about where we're going to stay when we first get to Sturgis, she'd go, "I don't know. Where are we going to stay when we first get there?" I'm like,
"You don't know where you're going to stay when you first get there." Where?
We're planning on staying at the Sturgis RV Park.
But have you got that confirmed yet?
No, but she told us they would.
So they never called back either. You would not believe how much time. And that's what he says. First he says, "You need to do this. You need to do this." And I'm like, "All right." So I'm getting paper, pen, or I'm trying to get it in my phone. And then he starts rattling off all this stuff. And then I'm right. And he says, "What are you doing now?" And I said, "I'm writing down what you asked me what to do." So then a few minutes later, I'm on the phone and he's like, "Now what are you doing?" "I'm texting the people you asked me to." It's like, he thinks it's just, he tells me to do it and it's done.
That's what
it don't work that way. And it does not. Snap it and you do it.
I want you to be involved. Feel like you're needed. So that's why we've been married 46 years. Known each other for 48 years.
Can you believe it?
So yeah. But so she's thinking about doing that. She's probably not going to do her own channel because she doesn't know how to edit or anything like that. So I would still have to edit. And I've already got 2 channels going on. We're trying to do social media, putting stuff out on TikTok and Amazon and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, there's a lot going on. And just getting organized. Because sometimes I just get to the point where I'm like, I'm done for now. I'm just not doing any more. It's a lot. And most of you that have been around us and know what we do, we spend a lot of time on this channel. A lot of time. Probably at this auction, some mornings she was up at what, 6:30?
Yep.
And we've had a couple of nights that it was 11 or 12 o'clock before we went to bed. So that's
hard on me. I need at least 9 hours to even function the next day, but
and so but
done less.
It took the other day, it took an hour
Back.
just to download my main camera that shot the main footage that was on the tripod. It took an hour. Then I tried to use our new iPhone because I thought, this would be a lot better because it works better with the gimbal. And it took me probably an hour to figure out how to download the stupid stuff. And then I kept putting all the files in it and it kept saying it's done. Well, it's not, it doesn't. I ended up having to do 2 or 3 at a time because it couldn't do a big quantity, which I don't know why. I'm not an iPhone guy.
Apple parts, not that smart.
And I'm using a Mac computer too, so I can run the Mac pretty well, but I don't really.
Well, you would think an Apple, an iPhone, and iMac, you could just hook it up and they. Aren't you supposed to touch them and they're just supposed to do it?
And I kept moving around. I kept saying it was there. So with this, which is an Android phone, I plug it in. I open the file. I drag the whole file over and I throw it on my hard drive, and I'm done. Takes me no time at all. But this thing took me probably at least, by the time I got done, I probably spent at least 2 hours downloading that phone, an hour on the other one. That was all the same night. So, and I didn't even, that's why we did video Friday and Saturday. We did all those in the same night. We filmed all that on Thursday night and was done. Because there's just not enough time for me to do Friday and Saturday. I said, let's just do a quick video, which ended up being an hour almost, of Daytona. And just find a place and we'll talk, and pretty much came out like we did. I'm bad about going off on things. I probably should have saved the police for another time. I did cut a little bit of stuff we talked about out. I don't remember what part I cut out, but a couple of something we started talking about, and I'm like, you don't need that crap. Just went on what we were already going on with. So how many people going today? And everybody can write down what rallies you're going to. We'll see who's all on here and where you're going, or if you're going to none, which is fine. Some people say they're just living through us. Skippy's like that. I think he already left.
Yeah,
he lives through us.
Go to bed.
They're just not able to travel with him and his wife anymore. I'd like to get a trike someday. Never know. We have some other people over the years that are no longer doing much with trikes. The new Harley bikes seem to be selling. The dealerships that we're calling don't have very many models in stock.
They're sold before they get them. So
they're, they are moving. Now, there's probably some dealers out here, which we know one group of dealers. I can go to California and those dealers probably have all their bikes in stock. Charge you about $20,000 more than what the bike sold for. So
because they have a privilege tax, a privilege charge from buying it from them. How about that? Number Jack says first part of Daytona and probably Myrtle. There you go.
So yeah, it's Myrtle will be there probably the longest because we're gonna leave. I think Monday. Oh, we're flying in. So I think we're leaving here Tuesday.
Myrtle.
So we get there and we're staying at Steven's house again. And supposed to be one of the vendors is going to let us use his motorcycle. So we're going to talk to him in Daytona and see if that's going to happen. We're hoping Harley Davidson is going to fix us up in Panama City.
John from Gator is going to give us a bike in Leesburg.
And then Midwest Cycles is helping us out with a bike there, giving us a good deal. So we're able to get on there. So we're pretty well set with that's what Hall Bike said. Is your bike coming down? Because the Ocala warehouse guy, we know him real well. He's coming to Leesburg. We're going to be with him some of the time. Got the big long beard. Probably seen him in
Blake is his name.
And
that was my favorite. We stay at Myrtle State Park. Yeah, that's where we usually stay or used to stay.
That's a good place, but they just raise the prices up so. It's all these places like that. They just take advantage of you. Like I said, when we first went there, it was probably, I don't know, $650, something like that for the whole rally. And we had a coast to coast campground and membership that expired. We only did a 5 or 6 year deal and it expired this year. But there was one in Myrtle that would let us stay there, but you couldn't stay. First year we went, we got to stay during the rally.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, they decided, you have to be an owner at ours to do that. So
because it's called a special event.
So we would get there and do 3 or 4 days there and then go to the state park for the rest of the time. And then one of our subscribers, because we were like, I don't know if we can come back to Daytona. We just can't afford it. Yeah, Myrtle Beach, because it jumped up to like $1,200 they wanted, $1,290. And it's like, we just can't justify that. The gas to get there and all that. And he said, I'll just write you a check. I'll send it to you right now. And so I went ahead and put it on the credit card. We paid for it right then, and he got the check, and we paid the credit card. So he helped us the last year. We took the trailer there. And then when we started talking again, that's when Steven said, well, you can stay with me. I got the extra room. You can stay in our room. And he's pretty central there. And so that worked out. Last year, Tam wasn't there. She had, when the oldest grandson graduated from high school, he had to leave. He was only there about 2 days. And then I was there the rest of the time by myself. And then the bike got hauled out. So the last 2 days I had no bike, and Steven just took me down and dropped me off.
Hauled him around.
Merle's Inlet. And I just hung out there at the Beaver Bar and tuck bang blow and all that kind of crazy. Didn't stay out late. Steven's not a late guy. So we would stay out till 8 or 9, and we didn't get a lot of the crazy stuff.
They were talking about the new bikes. They said the new trikes and are you coming to the homecoming? No,
we're not coming. Well, see, we're not pulling the trailer anymore. We're only pulled the trailer to Sturgis. And because they moved the homecoming so close to Sturgis that it takes away from Sturgis. We need those 9 weeks to cover everything in Sturgis. And Sturgis is really the only place we really do really well because we're there for 9 weeks. And we put videos out all the time. And everybody, if you're not wanting to go to Sturgis, you always want to know what's going on in Sturgis. So we really have we've had some great years in covering Sturgis. And, but once we're there that much longer. And, so we'll see what happens this year. This could be the last year that we do the East Coast. We're going to talk to some of our vendors and see what they want to do. We got a couple of them thinking about getting out of. They're thinking about getting rid of their dealership or their vendors, or they're looking to get rid of their business and sell it to somebody else. So a lot of our vendors are getting older. They're getting up.
They're like our age, so it's like it's kind of hard. I know the other day when we were, I guess it was the girls that haul bikes. That we were standing back there with them, and then one of them said, I need to go to the bathroom. I said, I'll follow you because I need to go too. So I followed him and we were talking, and she's like, I don't know, I can't believe it. I'm going to be 60 this year. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? She's, well, you turned 60. And I said,
been past that.
I said, I'll be 66 this year. And she's like, I said, yep. I'm closer to 70 now than I am.
So I don't know. We're still going to do, because what we're thinking about doing next year is the rides. We're thinking about telling you guys, hey, here's what we're doing.
It's a long ride.
We're doing some rides. Like I'd like to do a Route 66 ride. I'd like to do up the coast again. But what my rides are all about, which I've said this over and over and over, is we're all about the destinations that we stop at along on the ride. One day you might only do 100 miles. But the next day you might do 200 miles or 300 miles. We're not heading for a destination. We're heading a route and having the fun of checking out all these cool places along the way. And we kind of have a daily schedule of where we're going to stay each night. So we kind of figure out, okay, if we're going to go here, that's one of the reasons I'd like to go again in a couple of weeks, is maybe not go quite as far, but at least get up to the Redwoods. And where we can plan out and say, okay, hey, if we're going to do this next year, here's the places we want to do next year with whoever comes with us. Because there's things we didn't do first time we did it. Figure when we do that, 2000 what?
Both break our wrists. 7 or 8, 2007, 2008, something like that.
So we took a group up there. And we took 6 different bikes with us up the coast. It was a lot of our hog members that were friends of ours that we met. Art came with me. We had a couple couples and a couple
Pam
singles.
And Jesse and Mark and Joan and Art. That was it.
We had another person by themselves. And so we all went up the coast, and we stopped at, we did the typical stuff. Not the typical stuff, but I mean, we start off, the best part is Morro Bay. Look up Morro Bay, Morro Bay in California.
W. It's O-W. At the end. You just said, Morro. It's O. It's like tomorrow. It's the end.
Check. I don't think it.
Morro. I thought I had a W.
Morro Bay in Morro Bay. Look that up and check out that town. It is the coolest. It's like stepping back into not very big. It's got some cool bars and stuff along there, but that's where I always say my coast ride starts.
It's got these. It's called the Seven Sister Rocks, but they got these big old rocks.
Looks like a volcano
in the bay, and
they're all over. The Seven's not. A couple of them are in the hill. One of them is behind the Hearst Castle. One up there, and but it's just. I like, not saying I love all of the coast in California. I could start all the way down on the Mexico border and ride all the way up the coast and show you places that you would never ever see at all because it's not on a main road. You got to get off and get through some. They're not really neighborhoods, but when you go through some of them, if you've never been to California, California is the only one that I would say has real beach town. You go to Huntington Beach, it's on the beach. The whole coast of Huntington Beach is nothing but beach. You can park on the street, you can park in a parking lot, whatever you want to do, but you go right down to the beach. You go down to Florida, you got to go to this itty-bitty area on that big, giant coast of Florida to be able to find the beach that you're allowed to go to because the rest of it's not. And the whole United States is that way except for California. Now, Oregon and Washington State could be that way, but they've got more cities that take up the beach area, so you don't see it as much. But all these little beach towns, it's like when I was in high school, the Beach Boys was big and popular. If you listen to the Beach Boys songs, those towns are just like they said. There's no other place in the United States that has that. Yes, there's politics, like crazy stuff. But if you do stuff during the week when people are at work, you don't see that. No, we're not going to drive through LA, kind of crazy stuff. LA, we usually get up. When we get through it, when we usually head out, that's where we usually start is from LA base. We're either starting from our daughter's, well, only one daughter lives now, leave from Huntington Beach. We've got to get up there through LA. Well, we'll go through LA on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning at about 7:00 in the morning where everybody's in bed still. So you can get through and go to the 101 all the way up the coast to the one, and you not have very little traffic. But there's all kinds of cool little beach towns. Like I say, that's what we used to do every weekend was we were on the beach riding, or we also did Big Bear. And there's California is the only state that has every kind of riding, right? In the mountains, desert, you can ride along the coast, you can ride
in the city.
Yeah, that's right. A little bit, and you can split lanes.
Yeah. And we just was coming back from Home Depot and the guy split lanes. I'm like, oh, he's not allowed to do that here.
Not in Arizona.
I used to ride from Alaska to Sturgis the last 10 years from St. Croix, Harley Davidson in Wisconsin to Sturgis, but leave Wisconsin for Wausau to Stevens Point area. There you go. You've been on 2 hours.
Oh, how many people do we have?
23.
Lisa never came on the night, huh?
Who? Oh no, my Lisa. No, but well, she works late. She doesn't really get home
by now. I mean,
well, she's been helping her mom and dad too a lot, so she'll go.
They were talking about Barbados Fun, Hearst Castle, and that's last time we did it. Is we started Myrtle Bay. We didn't do Hearst Castle. We did the Winchester Mansion, and we let people pick out. We said, here's things I want to do, and here's things we could do. And then I kind of let everybody kind of pick about what the majority of the people wanted to do. Like 3 of us did not want to go over to Alcatraz. So we sat in a bar and watched them putt over there in the boat and putt on back. And then everybody went through the Winchester Mansion. That was the coolest thing. We've done the Hearst Castle before.
That's cool too.
I'd like to do with the Hearst Castle and Winchester Mansion. I'd like to do the private tour. They give you more time, but I mean that's a whole day. Then you go back and show you things tell you things that you wouldn't normally see in the regular tour. And so that was pretty cool. Alcatraz, good pass on that. And get through LA.
I've been there, done it. I wanted to go. It was cool.
We rode across the Golden Gate Bridge and all that kind of cool stuff. We went down the twisty road, the twisty thing there. We did that.
The crookedest road in the United States.
Did that.
That was in San Francisco.
We didn't ride the trolley. Could have done that. We did go to Fisherman's Wharf because that's where you go across at the
Alcatraz.
So we did that, and we drove down. But I mean, it's just if you ever see that commercial where the car comes down the hill and it goes across this big old bridge,
car commercial
with the ocean on one side, rocks on the other, we drive down that. And most people don't know where that's at because they don't. It's a very boring ride. It's 200 miles going to take you 8 hours to ride that ride because sometimes there's switchbacks and it's not real curvy, but it's switchbacks that you're coming around. But I mean, sometimes you're doing
cows on the road.
Yeah. 10 or 15 miles an hour is all you're doing. And very seldom are you up to even 55 miles an hour. Most of the time it's below. And there's a few little towns in between there, but the one's only got a gas pump with one pump and they had a little diner and a post office and a firehouse. That was it. That's the only business that's on that 200-mile stretch before we start. You can get gas there if you had to, if you had a sports store or something. But
a lot of it could have changed because when we were coming back from Oregon a couple years ago, it was a lot more.
But we didn't go down that 200 miles.
We didn't go down that way, but
there was a lot more Airbnbs now that were down there. A lot
wineries and
a lot more traffic than was when we were there. But I mean, we might have been traveling over a weekend too. So we knew normally we leave out on Sunday and get back. So we did 6 days there. So we did Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The Friday we were back home. So we stayed away from traveling over the weekends when the tourists are out. So there you go. All right, wrap it up.
Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We hope you enjoyed the video. We miss all you guys. Can't wait to start doing Sundays again. I'll have a little bit more heads up, maybe next time. Enjoy your Super Bowl weekends. Stay tuned to all the videos and stuff we've got coming up. We love all you guys and we appreciate all you guys. And we thank all you guys for supporting our channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends so we can grow a little bit bigger. Share everybody with bike builds for vets. If they're a vet and they need a bike or look in need of a bike, let us know. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications. Support our sponsors. And we'll see you on the next video. Can you read it?
Yeah.
What did it say?
Yeah, he used to ride from
Illinois to Sturgis. Yeah. Straight through. Woo.
Good day and a half on way out.
Yep.
A lot of riding.
It is. Enjoy. See you later. The traffic in Southern California is a horrific nightmare. You should be in Las Vegas. It is, if not worse, at least comparable to California now. Everything. All right, guns, we'll see you soon. We'll see all of you in Daytona if we don't see you before then. Funny, I never got the 1,000-mile day pitch. I know. We did one ride and I get 600 miles in one day, over 600 miles. And I said, I want my iron butt patch. I don't care how many miles I went. My butt was sore. Y'all safe and good night. Good night, Chip. And good night, you guys. Good night, Neil. I'll send you Rick's number. So we'll see y'all soon.
Should have a video out tomorrow, so be looking for it.
All righty. Bye-bye.